Hello, I'm Alan B. Densky, and I'd like to welcome you to Chapter 4 in my series on how to lose weight using hypnosis. My goals in this series are to entertain you while I give you a set of tools that you can actually use to make rapid changes in your life and your lifestyle. So far in this series, we've learned that people have feelings in their stomach that they interpret as hunger. And when their stomach contracts in expectation of being fed, they feel hungry. And we learned that people feel cravings and urges, which we define as appetite, when they're experiencing tension and anxiety. In Chapter 3, we talked about the urge to eat as a conditioned response. In other words, how you learned to associate food with other activities like watching TV. So when you sat down in front of the TV, you got cravings for food and felt a compulsion to eat. The information we've covered in this series so far applies essentially to everyone who has an eating disorder. However, in addition to what we've discussed, some people eat compulsively, and very often those compulsions are caused by an unconscious need to be overweight as a way to protect some part of themselves. Now, not everyone eats compulsively, so I'm going to cover compulsive eating in Chapter 5, the last chapter. Today we'll talk about motivation and how you can go about creating a mountain of it so that you can feel an urge to exercise, stick to eating good foods, and make any changes that you want to make in your life. Our motivation is based on what we believe, and as we all know, our beliefs are rarely based on reality. Instead, we believe things because of how we see them, how we hear them, how we feel them, and how we smell them. Recently, one of my appetite control clients, Susie, related an interesting story to me. She had taken her young daughter shopping for clothes and left her car in a parking garage. When she and her daughter went back to the garage to get the car and go home, they were accosted by a seedy-looking man. He told her that he had noticed her car and had been waiting for her to return. He said that he liked the car and that since she was obviously wealthy, he wanted her to give him the car as a present. I can't tell you what her first response was because I don't use that kind of language. Well, at least not in my videos. But the man wasn't deterred. He told her that he didn't want to see anything bad happen to the young girl. So Susie handed the keys to her beautiful new car over to the man and walked away quickly. So what happened to motivate Susie to do something that she would not normally feel motivated to do? Simple. The man got her to believe that what was most valuable to her, her daughter, would be in jeopardy unless she made an immediate change in her behavior. Similarly, if the man had motivated her to hand over her keys in a positive way, he could have done that because he could have gotten her to believe that what was most valuable to her would be enhanced if she made a change. For instance, if he could have gotten her to believe that he was really a multimillionaire in disguise and that if she gave him the keys to the car as a token of good faith, her daughter would win a full scholarship to a university, then that also would have motivated her to hand over the car keys. Our unconscious mind is like a computer, and in the science of NLP, we've learned how to decipher the computer codes that each person, as an individual, uses to create belief. So there are very powerful NLP techniques that we can use to make you believe whatever you need to believe to feel motivated to make your desired changes. In other words, you can easily create a mountain of motivation to stick to a diet or to exercise and so forth. Both my Vaporize Your Appetite program and my Urge to Exercise program use very powerful NLP formulas for creating huge amounts of motivation. Have you ever felt good about yourself at any time in your life for any reason whatsoever? One of the NLP techniques that I use is to train your unconscious to connect the imagined image of you with a thin body with the feelings of self-esteem that you received from other experiences. And it doesn't matter where those feelings came from or even how long ago you felt them. For instance, as a young child, you might have won a sports competition and felt good about yourself because of it. Or maybe you won a spelling bee, or maybe you just had someone commend you for doing your chores. It doesn't really matter where the good feelings came from. Your unconscious mind can be trained to take feelings from one of your experiences and then connect those feelings to another experience. So in my programs, we train your unconscious mind to connect feelings of self-esteem to an imagined image of you with a thin body. Because when you believe at the core level that being thin will make you feel good about yourself, you'll be powerfully motivated to do whatever's necessary to lose your weight and keep it off. I'd like you to get into a nice, comfortable position now because I'm going to teach you your next mental exercise. So please sit back and make yourself comfortable. Take a nice, slow, deep breath. Hold it. Now, let it out slowly and allow your body to begin to relax. Now take another nice deep breath. Hold it, and as you slowly exhale, allow that relaxation to start to spread throughout all the parts of your body. I'd like you to remember an experience that you've had that made you feel great about yourself. It could have been yesterday, or it could have been years ago, way back when you were a child. Now I'd like you to step inside of that experience and be there now and see what you see, hear what you hear, and feel what you feel. And allow all of those great feelings to come up. And as you begin to re-experience some of those good feelings, I'd like you to touch the tip of your left index finger to the tip of your left thumb and make a little circle, a little OK sign. That's right, just allow your mind to connect the feelings of self-esteem to the touch of those two fingers. We call that making an anchor. So when I ask you to trigger your anchor in a few minutes, you'll simply touch those two fingers together again. Now release your anchor by separating your fingers and allow yourself to relax. Now I'd like you to imagine how great it will feel to be able to look in the mirror and see a person with a sleek, sexy body looking back at you. If you can't picture yourself with a thin body, picture someone else and then put your head on that body. Now I'd like you to imagine feeling wonderful as you trigger your anchor. That's right, gently touch the tip of your left index finger to the tip of your left thumb and allow all of those feelings of self-esteem to come back. And as you do, imagine that you see and hear your friends and loved ones complimenting you. Imagine how your life is going to change when you've gotten all of your weight off. Allow your unconscious to associate those feelings of self-esteem with that image of you with a great body. Okay, allow that mental scene to fade from your mind. In Chapter 5, we'll talk more about feelings of hunger and how you can get rid of them very quickly and easily. We're also going to talk about proper eating habits. Hello, I'm Alan B. Densky, and I'd like to welcome you to Chapter 4.